We often think of Beethoven, and rightly so, as the symphonist par excellence, not only because he wrote 9 great symphonies, but, and this is more important, almost all his music, symphonic, instrumental, or vocal, has a certain unmistakable symphonic character about it. I personally believe that this is why he was able to develop piano writing to such an incredible degree. It wasn't just that he was a great pianist himself. It's typical of him as a composer that he extended piano writing in the one direction in which it is generally thought to be most limited. Because the piano is basically a much more neutral instrument than any other. When you hear an oboe or a violin, it has a very distinctive, recognizable quality, what we call tone color. Whereas the piano is by comparison rather colorless. But Beethoven treats it like a white canvas and makes a virtue of it by painting in his own colors, in contrast to the neutrality of the background. By the sheer breadth of his expression, he draws out the colors of horns, oboes, and even strings. Take, for instance, the slow movement of the Pastoral Sonata, opus 28. There is a very obvious bass pizzicato in the left hand against the sustained melody in the right. The two hands are as independent as different instruments, uninfluenced by each other. The melody is sustained, and the bass goes on as if it had a law of its own. Later in the movement, the music becomes brighter, and instead of the sustained chords, we get the effect of horn calls answered by a flute. Now, if I would play that passage without the coloring of different instruments, it would sound something like this. Which I must say is very boring. So in thinking of Beethoven as the grand symphonist with the great architectural mind, we mustn't forget his sensitivity for color and sound, which were just as acute as that of the French Impressionists. Only for him, it wasn't an end in itself, but had to be subordinated to the total musical expression. Let me play those two passages again.